everyone, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. Thank you for joining us for day 3 for Scrap September. Today's prompt is single photo. I will be back in just a minute. I'm going to cut to you live right now. Hi everyone, so I'm just popping in to show you what I am up to next. You can see a beautiful plain spotty green piece of paper. No, I know you can see that there are tiny little holes all pierced all through it. So this is the Willow Lane collection by Maggie Holmes. And yes, I have used one of Virginia Walker's cut files, but I modified it a little bit. And she has like a fluttering bee and a fluttering butterfly stitch and cut file. I just took the bees and the butterflies off and just kept the swirly swirlies. And I used 3 bits of it, but I kind of erased bits I didn't need and rearranged them a little bit. So I really have pulled it apart a little bit to suit my needs. And then you can see I fussy cut all the butterflies off one of the other Willow Lane pieces of paper, and then I've matched them with some threads. So I'm going to be using this sort of greeny mustard colour thread for the tails of both of these. Oh, sorry, when I do that I lose the screen, sorry. For the tails of both of these butterflies, I'm going to use this dark one for this one for this one, and so on and so forth. And so what I've done is I spent a little bit of time laying out where I want each of these to go, and also there's a gap here because that's where my photo is going to go, with some stuff and a title and, you know, all that jazz. And then once I laid them all out, I actually got corresponding textures and drew, very hard to see, sorry, because of the pattern paper on the back, but you can sort of see the swirly lines I've drawn. I'll bring it up closer. The swirly lines I've drawn so that I know when I'm stitching which holes are for which colour. And I thought I had 2 quite different coloured greens, but I really didn't. So I've written light and dark on there as well for my own reference. And so I'm going to get to work just back stitching that, no fancy stitching. And then I will come back ready to start embellishing and putting on all the bits and pieces. So I will see you in a sec. So I am back with my stitched layout. This was super quick, super easy to stitch. And I'm really happy with the results. So what I end up doing is popping my butterflies all at the end of their trails and just having a look at how that is going to go. Then I need to decide on the orientation of where I want the photograph to be. Obviously it's going in that gap, but do I want it the way it is, or am I going to twist the page around? I haven't 100% decided at this point, because the butterflies are sort of all in different directions, so it's not too big of a deal where the photo goes as such. So I'm still just sussing all that out. I also know I had this plan so the butterflies did not overlap, so I'm just trying to remember which one went there. Most of them are pretty easy to work out, but there's a couple where there's larger and smaller in the same color, so I'm still just trying to work out which one I'd planned to be where exactly. So once I do that, ta-da, now I'm just having a look as to which way round I want the photo to be, and I decide I like it best in that way. Oh, come up here. Oh, hello. Is that better? Someone was standing at my feet and not happy at being so low down to the ground. He wanted to come up taller with Mummy. So while I busy myself sticking these butterflies down with both a mixture of foam tape and double-sided adhesive, I vary it. I start off doing them all on foam tape and then realise I quite like the look of some up and some down. I'm going to talk about our guest designers for today, because we do have 2 guest designers. We've got Alyssa McGrew from Becoming Memories is her YouTube channel, and I've got that linked down below. She's got a bunch of different things on her channel, such as layouts and killing kits with style, but something in particular that I quite love that she does is she does what she calls copycat kits. And that's when she takes products from a specific designer. And she might even have some of those products, but she doesn't have the entire collection. And she uses other things from her own stash to match the colors and to match the style of that actual collection, and creates her own, which I think is super, super cool and has inspired me to give a try. So definitely head on over to her channel. She's got organization videos, she's got killer kit with style videos, she's got process videos. She has got the works happening over there, so definitely pop on over and see her. Our other guest designer is a lady called Karina Nielsen, and she is our Instagram designer today. So I will also link her Instagram channel down below. She has got some gorgeous things over on her Instagram channel. She's got some photography, she's got some other hobbies that she does, such as stitching, but she also has got a whole bunch of beautiful layouts that she has made. Shaker pockets, tags, 12 by 12 layouts, you name it, it is over on her channel, on her Instagram page. So definitely go and check her out also. So thank you both to you lovely ladies for joining in and scrapping along with our 30 days of September challenge this month. So you can see that I have been working on my butterflies, and I am varying those that have been popped up and those that are sitting down. Sorry, I've moved into another room, so my echo has changed a little bit. And I also started to bend the wings to help give a little bit of dimension and flutter to the butterflies on that page. And I'm really loving how this is looking. I can tell it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to embellish this, as the butterflies are going to be pretty awesome all on their own. But I will definitely include something on there. And I'm going to continue using the gorgeous Willow Lane collection as well. Have I mentioned that? This 12 by 12 piece of paper is a Willow Lane piece of paper. The colours that I used to back the photographs are also scraps from my Willow Lane collection. And the butterflies I fussy cut from a Willow Lane other piece of 12 by 12 paper. So it's just all Willow Lane. And so I've only got the chipboard ephemera left in the Willow Lane collection, and I will be using that to embellish this page. But horror of horrors, I will tear down some of the chipboard. That piece of scrap paper there is going to mimic my journaling. I really was struggling to work out where my journaling would go on this particular layout. There wasn't an obvious spot for it, and the only real largish gap seem to be up there. So that is going to have to be where my journaling goes, and therefore I know I need to concentrate on, embellishing that section up there so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb that I've just got a random piece of journaling up on its own in the corner. So I've sort of planned a little bit already what I want to get doing, and I'm just having a little bit of a play with this chipboard sheet to see how I want to fill out this page. So I'm thinking this little head is the way to go, but I actually don't like him being up on chipboard. It's too large and it's too big of a piece, and it's dominating the photo. So I'm actually going to really carefully, you can't really see what I'm doing there, but I actually tore the picture off the front of the piece of chipboard. So it's now just a flat piece of ephemera, and I'm going to glue that tucked in underneath my photograph, and I much rather that not having the dimension on it than it did when it had the big foam backing behind it. That suits my needs far better, and it makes it a far more user-friendly piece of ephemera for me. This is the second time I've ever done this before. I've never been game enough to tear apart my chipboard and my pieces of ephemera before. I've always used them the way they were intended and the way they came, which also stopped me from using things. They would end up just sitting in my cupboard or in my stash waiting for the right opportunity to use them. So now I've sort of given myself permission to tear that backing off. It's really not even affecting the piece of ephemera at all. I'm just making it less bulky, and definitely works for this layout for me. So I'm just rolling with that. I'm having a play with what I can fit in the top left-hand side of the photograph, but nothing really works up there. It detracts from the beautiful butterflies and the beautiful stitching. So everything I try just gets tossed in the reject for this layout pile. There's also not a lot left in that collection for me to use. I don't want to use another frame piece up there because that won't work. There are a lot of butterflies, but it's not really the right spot for a butterfly because I've got so many other butterflies happening. So yeah, I'm still just looking and deciding. I'm in a bit of a mood to use phrases for my titles at the moment. I honestly think it's to do with being a little bit lazy at the moment. I'm not coming up with catchy titles, so using phrases are already there, so it's one less thing to think about. I'm also conscious that I want to try and use up this kit of stuff. So by using only that collection and not using those stickers that are just sitting right there beside me, I feel like I'm bashing a little bit more of this collection. And, you know, there's nothing in particular to say about this photo. It is just a cute picture of my husband and I and our little one. So cute seemed to be an appropriate heading. So that's where I went with that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but peeling these off was really, really challenging. It just tore up the backing page, something shocking on these. They were almost too sticky, I think is the problem. But anyway, we got there. So I obviously haven't done my journaling yet, so I have to be careful sticking these things in approximately the right position. I've also limited myself on how much journaling I can do with the size that I am allowing there. But as I said, there's not a lot happening in this photograph, so I'm not too concerned about wanting to write more. There's not really much to say. This doesn't really tell a massive story. I just liked the photo, and I liked that we're not at home, we're on a holiday. So that's sort of the story in itself. So hanging with that, but as I keep thinking, I'm not loving the title just being cute, so I just grabbed these little tiny mini alphas that are from Kaiser Craft. I've had these for quite a long time, but I think if they don't still stock these, they stock something similar, and I just thought I would jazz up the title a little bit with nothing all that exciting, but you are too cute. I thought that was just a way to extend the message behind this photo a little bit more. You can hear little man in the background having a lovely time. He's found the back door, which is all glass, and he's just letting me know that he'd really love to go outside, please, Mum. But it is raining, it is bucketing, it is pouring, and it is freezing. So unfortunately, my little darling won't be going outside. But he's just coming to let me know that he'd really like to. He's very proud of himself because there's one step in our house, not a big one, actually inside the house, not a big one, but it is a step to separate two levels. And originally an extension was put onto our property, not by us, and they didn't level the house out. They just put one step in it, and he is very proud that he has worked out that he can go up and down that step all on his lonesome, and there's no drama. It's easy, Mum. It's easy. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this is looking, and I think I better keep rolling. So I jump on over to my typewriter and type out my journaling. Clearly really nothing to say. There's literally 2 lines of journaling there. Just going to pop on my date stamp because I'm trying really hard this is for my son's album, to keep up to date with my journaling and up to date with my stamping. Even if I'm not up to date with the layouts, I am handwriting the journaling out so that I know what I want to put on each page. So if I don't do the layout for 6 months for whatever reason, I haven't forgotten why this photo was important, because my memory is not so good, and it is very likely that I will look back on this photo and be like, oh, what was the story? Oh, I can't remember. So by writing out the journaling, it it is already there. I don't have to worry. And then often you still change it as you actually type it up because it's re-sparked the memory, but the general gist of it is there for me now, which is perfect. So I'm just going to stick my journaling on just to make sure that then I can just make sure that that word phrase and the love heart sticker is actually in the right spot. Sorry, I'm just watching little man. He is almost 11 months and he is trying really, really hard to stand up all on his own, to not need to hold on. And I'm waiting while I'm doing a voiceover, for him to just let go and stand up because he is so close. So I'm pretty much finished. In fact, I am finished. I was going to Heidi Shine and decided no, not to bother. All the butterflies and the stitching is kind of speaking for itself on this layer. So just a really little embellishing down in the bottom right, and a really little embellishing with the journaling up in the top left. And so we have it. I'm really happy with the way this looks. That cut file from Virginia with all the butterfly tails is just gorgeous, and it made stitching this so easy. I will link the cut file I used down below, and I will link our beautiful guest designers down below as well. And don't forget, there will also be a playlist down below if you want to check out the other 30 days that we've got for this Scrapping September. Thanks for sticking around for day 3, and we'll see you tomorrow.